What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you all for tuning in and spending your Sunday morning with TBM Sports as we get into the MLB best bets. We'll talk three best bets here on the channel, but first, before we get into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to run the board. I do want to tell you guys I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before football season, and can't do without you. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and yeah, let's get into it. We'll recap yesterday quickly. It's been an outstanding run for those of you that have been following the official plays. And just full disclosure and transparency, I do talk about each and every single game by popular demand, but when I do give out my official plays, I will recap them at the end of the video, okay? So those are the ones for all intrinsic purposes matter, all right? And that's what we're looking at, okay? So we did do some housekeeping yesterday. We got the maid out and started sweeping, get the brooms all dusted off, because plan on using them again today. Had a little bit of a situation last night with a hedge where I basically took all my picks, added a couple other things in there, and nice little 20-1 as we got into the evening, hinging on the Mets and the Mets game. And unfortunately, the Mets, by the time that I had an opportunity when the Rangers won in extras to get involved, the Mets were down 1-0. Okay, I think there was 2 on with no out, and I think that's kind of put us in a weird spot. So it never works in your favor. Hedging's for gardeners, but sometimes, hey, got a good buzz going on, sitting by a campfire, you just want to lock in some profits. So that's exactly what we did. But I will be honest with you guys, it left me a little bit hungry. Okay, it left me a little hungry. So I woke up extra early today, and yeah, we're gonna get it done. So I want to talk about some of the games. I know I ramble a little bit too much, but that's just the espresso in me. We'll talk about my 3 best bets and run the board. So let's get it. All right, we will use Outlier to do this. I have been seeing a lot of you guys signing up for Outlier. That's good to see. Yes, I am an affiliate with them, but yes, it will make you make better sports bets. Full disclosure. Okay, so links down below, 7-day free trial if you haven't done so. But yeah, that's where I don't know who's counting or keeping track. I gotta look at my spreadsheet, but I do believe since I think a week before the All-Star break, we're about 22-4 on best bets. I think we were 19-4 after yesterday, so 22-4 stretch. Yeah, so these are free picks here on YouTube, guys. You gotta love it while it lasts, all right? But the first game that we're gonna talk about is Philadelphia and New York as we look into the judgeless Yankees, all right, hosting the Phillies, who, for all intrinsic purposes, guys, the one thing I'll tell you about the Phillies is they have pretty much been a top 3 offense as of recent, and that's been a team that kind of plagued my bets for a while, as they would only score maybe 1, 2, 3 runs. Pitching well, great pitching, but then you'd have some basically, what would be the word? They would implode in a way where, you know, not so much Wheeler, but, you know, before Christopher Sanchez went on his little stretch, you'd be giving up 6, 7 runs with him, Jesus Luzardo. The list goes on just of pitchers that would just kind of have 2 good starts and then just have an implosion, okay? And that left that offense a little bit reeling. Bryce Harper was hurt, you know, and now Schwarber looking like he's going to contest probably maybe for the most home runs in the American League or major leagues. That's something that I am kind of looking into with the futures markets. Just kind of rambling on about that, but that's kind of where you want to look for the futures, okay? That's kind of something where my head's at as well, especially with Judge on the IL. Yeah, MVP markets as well, very much influenced right now if you are in the futures. I think that the whole conversation piece within, you know, Cal Raleigh out there from Seattle, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because he's getting it done from a home run and power perspective, but it's not flashy. They play on the West Coast, and I think, all things considered, I think he's like around a 250, 260 hitter right now currently, okay? So that's kind of how I feel about it. I like the Phillies a lot. That will be the first official play. We're going to lay them on the money line, -126. And simply put, I even like them quite a bit on the +135 run line. If you do want to kind of do a little split in that regard, I could get behind that. But I think that we're all pretty much good with Wheeler on the bump going against Carlos Rodon. So let's back the Phillies, all right? Let's back the Phillies. I don't trust Rodon. I know he's kind of having a better year this year, but return to form, if you will, but I'm just not there personally. Okay, Rockies and Orioles. Shout out to the Orioles, who They took care of business yesterday a little bit. Okay, we had a little bit of a blowout, if you will. I thought we were watching a lopsided football game with a couple weird scores. 18-0. Okay, 18-0 go against the Rockies, and here we are. We're back at it. I think that the Orioles could return serve once again. The Rockies, if they get in a little funk like this, you just quite frankly never know. This is a game where I would lean over. Okay, simply put, I think 9.5. Baltimore at home in Camden. It's a very strong ballpark to play for the overs historically. Okay, so that's kind of how I stack up with the Orioles and Rockies. Right, just don't trust the fact that the Rockies could win this game. Dogs plus 172, a lot of juice. For me, in my money, I would go over 9.5 or nothing. Okay. Dodgers and Red Sox. This is a very fascinating game. All right. We get May going against Walker Buehler. Okay. So Walker Buehler, and we actually get this twice today with some pitching matchups. Walker Buehler returning against his old club. And there's no bad blood there, by the way, guys. I did look into that. Sometimes you get these guys that want to just, they circle these dates. They can't wait to face these guys. But for the most part, they stay professional. It's a business. And more times than not, it's all love. So that's what we'll be getting here. I don't trust Walker Buehler, though. 6+ ERA. I like the Dodgers. I'm just being honest, okay? And I think that this is a game where if you want to say, hey, Mark, what's your fourth game that you'd like to bet? I just think that personally this has a kind of a rubber band effect. I think we've just been pulling back that rubber band between these two offenses, right? Boston's been playing well. The Dodgers been playing well offensively, and we've just not been getting it, okay? I think that as you look at kind of this game here, total set at 10.5, I think that Vegas and the odds makers are expecting it. As you do see 3 times in a row, basically, we have not cashed over 10.5. I don't know. I just think this is one where I think we have the potential for some explosion here. And I think that if I was going to bet this game, 3 avenues: Dodgers team total, okay, team and game total for a full game, 10.5 going over. That's a little bit where you could dive into the 10 if you want to get it flat, pay some more juice. Otherwise, and I do like the Dodgers here on the money line at -130. Okay, I don't think there's that much of a spread where you have a benefit. Plus 120, -130. You could find -125s at times. I just think that that's not enough of a spread between the run line and the money line to take the run line. So if I was going to bet this 3 ways: Dodgers money line over 10 and the team total going over as well. Okay, I like that one quite a bit, actually. All 3 of those just didn't make my card because Boston's a tricky team to handicap, especially at home. And I think this one's going to be, I'm actually going to be watching this game. Okay, I'll probably have this one on and the Guardians, Indians, what have you, for that early window. Okay, and also finding a little spot on my on one of my monitors that I will have up is the Diamondbacks and Pirates. Okay, that's going to be an official play here. Paul Skeens Day going against Zach Gallen. Boy, I wish Zach Gallen was in his Cy Young consideration form. This would be a pitcher's duel, to say the least. And I just worry about the Diamondbacks offensively, how much morale they're having after dealing Naylor. A couple other players may be on the move as the trade deadline looms. And here we are as we look at it, in a very fancy bet that has kind of found its way into my repertoire, if you will. Starting to target the first 3 innings a little bit, right? Takes out the long ball, some fluky shit that goes on. But as we look at it, guys, I'm going under the 2.5. If you do want to get fancy, you could go 1.5 plus 145. If you like more risk, go under to 1.5 plus 145. If you just kind of want to maybe lock in some -140, where I just don't think that these teams are going to score any runs, period. And then now you have Paul Skeens, and I think sometimes you'll get a kind of veteran pitcher such as Zach Gallen. I think pitchers kind of chomp at the bit sometimes going against another guy that kind of fires them up. So I do look for Zach Gallen to throw well today. So I think we will get a first 3 under 2.5 at -140, -140. That's kind of what my best bet will be. So that is the second best bet on the card. If you do want to get fancy, like I said, you want to roll the dice, I don't think they offer a half run where you probably get over 2-1. But if you want to go under 1.5 runs at a plus 145 price, it's a little bit more risk, but I don't mind it whatsoever. Okay, back to the board, and I am going to save that Blue Jays Tigers game. To hell with it. We'll talk about it. That's going to be my final official play. Toronto plus 100. I just, quite frankly, think that they might be the best team in baseball right now. And another storyline similar to Walker Buehler, Max Scherzer. It's not going to be his previous club. You got to go back 2 clubs, as he did have a little stint there for the Nats. But I think that Max Scherzer turning home, facing Detroit. I like the Blue Jays, right? I like the Blue Jays, and he doesn't have that Verlander quality going on right now where he can't get it done. He's still a great pitcher. Yes, I do think Detroit could hit, but, you know, you're going to give me Flaherty versus Scherzer. Toronto's bats, I mean, they're the best team offensively in baseball right now, all things considered. That's just kind of how I stack up. And actually, we were all about them taking down the Tigers yesterday in skewball. Ball. There's always value when you're facing those big aces, where it's just kind of baseball, right? There's a lot of variance, and you never really should be a favorite more than you should be a favorite, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it played out, and quite frankly, if you want my honest God opinion, I think the Blue Jays had opportunities to really blow that game up earlier and not make us sweat it out towards the end. Yeah, that could have been a very lopsided affair for Skewball and company. So Flaherty, not even worried about this one whatsoever. I'm not going to be cocky about it, but I just think the Blue Jays were able to handle Skewball with ease. I like them returning today, and I think Scherzer will be fired up as well. So give me the Blue Jays here, even money, plus 100 as my third official play. A couple other leans to get into. We'll run the board kind of quickly now because I'm kind of through all of the thick of it. But Tampa Bay and Cincinnati, we get Singer going against Shane Baz. Cincy stay hot. Tampa has really been kind of sluggish as of lately. They are playing in Cincinnati. This one has potential to go over the total, okay? If you do want to know more about that, check out the weather in Cincinnati. We are going to have some precipitation, I feel like, in the Midwest and across the country a little bit, but I do think that as we look at the Great American Ballpark, if it's still called that, I don't know how I remember this stuff, but as you look into it, it's wind's blown out a little bit, not enough to drive the needle. There's only a few games, and the Dodgers game, if that does get played, is the one that really does kind of bode well for run expectation, okay? That one, Cleveland a little bit, and you kind of can get into that Mets-San Francisco game, if we're going to talk about it, having an impact in terms of directionality for me and my money. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. The play in Tampa Bay, Cincinnati would be Cincy or nothing. Okay, also do like the over 9.5, but won't bet that. All right, Chicago and Chicago, a little interleague going on right now. So I never really quite frankly understood, and you know, I have a lot of friends in Chicago, and I'm kind of a deep dish snob myself, but a little sidebar on this, because if you've never been to Wrigleyville, you got to make a trip. It's a fun kind of weekend to watch baseball and enjoy things. But for me, guys, I just never quite frankly understood the hostility with Chicagoland people, where you can't put ketchup on a hot dog. It just does not make a lick of sense. Shout out to anybody who knows about ballpark mustard, little Burtman's there in Cleveland. That's kind of a staple, if you will. So a little fun little sidebar there, but yeah, ballpark food's getting out of control. If you see kind of if you heard the story with the Dodgers games, I know it's kind of crazy out there in California, but $60 gets you a foot-long hot dog and a beer. That's a rumor I've been hearing, so if I'm wrong on that, correct me in the comments, but that's what we got going on, so enjoy it. For me, guys, Cubs, White Sox, the wind's going to be a touch blowing in. We did go under the 8.5. Which doesn't make sense why this is like this. Yeah, under 8.5 as we looked at the game yesterday. This one's tough. I'm just going to be honest with you, because we talk a lot about the Blue Jays, talk a lot about the Phillies, teams that have been on the upswing in terms of offensively. I think if you looked at the deeper metrics behind the White Sox, okay, they are really doing something special in the form of hitting a baseball. And it just doesn't quite frankly represent the 38-67 record they have. And sometimes you get these lower tier teams that just go and they put on a streak. Okay. And I think that's something where this could be it. We've been on the White Sox a little bit. as heavy leans when they have had some pretty substantial value as an underdog. And this game's very, very reminiscent of a spot where I would like to back the White Sox just once again. Okay, Ben Brown has been okay, early on, but he's not going to get it done. I think the Cubs need to make a move before the trade deadline, solidify that rotation. So for me, I hate to say it, kind of makes me get a little upset stomach. So, but the White Sox, I think they're live at plus 170. Okay, we'll see if they can hit today, but that's a pretty nice little value there for the Pale Hose. All right, Marlins and Brewers. Let's talk about Woodruff going against Yuri Perez. This is a great dance partner, okay? The Marlins are probably one of the harder teams. I would say Marlins and Athletics, if you want to go against those like negative stigma teams that just have that ability to just wreck your day if you bet against them on any given day for any given reason. That's pretty much otherwise known as the Marlins and the Athletics, okay? And I think that's something very prevalent that we're seeing right now across the board. A lot of dogs have been cashing tickets, some big dogs. But the Brewers, 1.65 ERA for Brandon Woodruff. I mean, how do you not get behind the Brew Crew here? Find a dance partner, 178. Go and look at some tennis. Look at whatever you got to do. WNBA. I don't care. I won't lay the 1.5 at plus money, but a 175 Brewers team here. They should be able to take care of business at home. Okay, very impressive what they've been doing. The Cubs, the Marlins, for all things considered, they are a top 10 team offensively right now by my numbers, okay? And that's kind of where I've been saying they've been like right on the outside of just wrecking teams. So this one's tough, not going to make my card, but if you can find a dance partner, some way to get that Brewers money line anywhere near a plus money, 2-3 legs, great dance partner. Okay, Padres and Cardinals. Kolek going against McGreevy as we look for this little bit of a regression here for the San Diego young gun. I liked him early on in these spots, but he's kind of getting his number a little bit. Scouting reports get out, but for me, guys, the Cardinals, I think they're struggling to hit the baseball a little bit. Okay, and I think that's what you could see here as we have seen two. For San Diego, basically 90% of the games go under 9 runs. Okay, so there's not a lot of run expectation here. The under 9 is very attractive for me, especially on a Sunday where bullpens are depleted. You do worry about that a little bit, but the under 9 Padres and Cardinals, that's definitely going to be a lean as well. Okay. 3 more games to talk about before we let you guys get out of here and into your Sundays. The Braves and Rangers. Hard not to go back to the Rangers here as they've won 8 out of their last 10. Minus 115 there on the money line. Again, going against Bryce Elder, you get a little lighter. And love that. This is one of my favorite young pitchers in baseball. That in terms of potential, I think there's a lot of room for him to grow. But the Rangers might have been the best team and might be the best team in baseball. The Rangers and Blue Jays, a little sneaky kind of run they've been on. But don't fall in love with these teams because, as you've seen with the Rays, okay, the Rays were running exceedingly hot, and then now they're bottom 5 in the last week or two within hitting the baseball. So don't marry these teams, but on baseball, on any given occasion, you can go on a 1-2 week run. So right now, the Rangers at 55-50, they're on the move, and it's nice to see them kind of streaking right now. As got a little getaway day here against the Braves here, where the Braves have lost 7 out of their last 10, and I just think that Elder's not someone I like personally, not on a personal level, but as a better. A lot of people like him. I just think that he's very constant. Those games are going to be 3, 4, 5 runs from his outing. Sometimes he'll throw a little bit above expectation, but I think lighter will get the job done here. This one could go over the total as well. Okay, so keep in mind as we do look for the Braves, they've been cashing overs pretty substantially. All right, Rangers, not so much. All right, I wish this game was in Truist because this would be definitely an over in my opinion. Okay, Mariners and Angels, we have 2 more games. This is where you do like the Seattle Mariners with Logan Gilbert going against Hendricks. It's a tough little fickle spot. Staying in the state of California, staying on the West Coast. Seattle is not in California. Cheers to the espresso. But as we look at it, guys, this is a no play for me. Mariners are nothing. I think they're going to be a little bit playing with some steam. If this was under $1.50, I would be betting the Mariners on the money line. Okay. And then the last game, Mets and Giants. I think this one has potential as well to see an over. I do like the over 8 here a little bit in between the Mets and the Giants. And that's kind of where I think it's a coin flip who wins the game. Personally, I would back Kodai Senga, 1.79 ERA, 7-3 on the year at -142. Going against a gauge for the Giants. Not really much to go off of, but for me, I think this one will go over the total of 8 if I had to bet it. Okay, so quick recap. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But the 3 picks of the day, Toronto money line, we're going Pittsburgh, Arizona, first 3 innings, under 2.5 at -140, and the Phillies on the money line, -126. So appreciate it. See you guys in the comments. Enjoy it. Let's cash some tickets. Talk to you all tomorrow. Peace.